Welcome to the Hope Unlocked podcast. I'm your host, Kristin Kurtz, and I'm also the founder of New Wings Coaching. I help and empower wild-hearted and adventurous women of faith feeling caged and stuck unlock their true purpose and potential, break free from limitations, and thrive with confidence, courage, and hope. If you're curious to learn more about coaching with me, head to newwingscoaching.net and be sure to explore the show notes for ways to connect with me further. Get ready to dive in as we uncover empowering keys and insights in this episode. So tune in and let's unlock hope together. Welcome to the Hope Unlocked podcast. I'm Kristin Kurtz, your host. I pray this episode is like a holy IV of hope for your soul. Please help me welcome Tim Pearson to the show. I'm so thrilled to finally have him on today. He is a mutual friend of Heidi, who is one of the leaders of a local women's group called Few, and he happened to be there and shared a little bit about his story, and I knew, oh my gosh, he has to come on, and he said yes, so that was great. Now, to get to this point, one day I was going to interview him, and my basement started flooding. So, listeners, I know that this is going to be an amazing, amazing time of hearing his story and the ways that God is using him in this world. So, Tim, would you be open to sharing a little bit about yourself before we get into your story?
Sure. Hi, my name is Tim Pearson. I've been married for 38 years to a wonderful wife, and I have got 4 wonderful children, all married now as of a few months ago,
Wow.
and 4 grandchildren.
Oh, so
Yeah.
exciting.
And
Four all married off. Wow.
all married off now, finally. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And congratulations on 38 years. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
it
Wow.
is.
Wow. Well, tell us a little bit about, I know there's probably a story behind the story of where you're at now, but if you go back maybe a couple decades, where were you? What were you doing?
I, what time I lived in the Twin Cities.
Hmm.
As I worked as a commercial photographer. I've been doing that for almost 40 years now. And actually, 10 years ago, 2015, I went on a short-term missions trip,
Hmm.
Himalayas, and had a huge impact in my life.
Wow.
And it was there, I was, being a photographer, I had my camera with me and I'm photographing all kinds of things. And
Mhm.
it was just like, yeah, what am I doing with these photos? What am I,
Yeah.
they're fun to look at, but
Hmm.
I just thought there's got to be more purpose behind it. And
Hmm.
it took me, you know, almost nine years to finally figure it out and get to where I
Yeah.
needed to be. And it was a journey, and God opening doors and closing doors and
Hmm.
different places and different ways. And um, so a year ago, a little over a year ago, 2024,
Hmm.
I started my own nonprofit ministry called Just a Sling and a Stone.
Mm. Well, tell us a little bit more about the name because I love that. It's actually something um I've said quite a bit, like a stone and a sling, just as kind of a reminder of like the power, right? In that
Yeah.
in weapon.
So yeah, for me, it's oh, it's meaning like, I just remember the story of David and Goliath.
Hmm.
He goes into the battlefield. He's not the best warrior for
Hmm.
Israel that Israel has. He's going, but he just puts his trust in God, and
Hmm.
God's going to, deliver him, the giant to him. And same here. I'm a photographer, and I do dabble in some video work
Hmm.
too. I'm I know I'm not the best.
Hmm.
You don't have to be.
Yeah.
You know, and
Mm.
just trusting in the Lord will use you,
Hmm.
and just commit to that. And so I just decided, yeah. And I also thought, well, I could wait to learn. I've got photography down fairly good after all
Hmm.
the years, but just like the video part is different and new. And
Okay.
that, well, I can keep waiting until I learn that better. And it's like, no, why should I wait? Just
Oh, yeah.
dive into it.
Wow. Can you say that again? I think somebody needs to hear that.
Just, um, yeah, don't hesitate. Just, you can come up with a million excuses not to get going with something in life.
Hmm.
And maybe that's, sometimes the older you get, you realize that, yeah, I don't have a lot of time left and I better not hesitate.
Hmm.
And one of the other things just related to that hit me, I just and this was just maybe month, 2 months ago, maybe. And I was reading again the story of David and Goliath. I just like to go back and read that.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to grab my Bible here for a second so I make
Yeah,
sure I'm reading
absolutely.
this right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a point here where, when David went out to meet the Philistine, and it says that David ran quickly toward the battle line to meet the Philistine. And I just thought, that's who I want to be, I guess. I want to be the person that is running out to meet Goliath and
Mm-hmm.
not hesitate. And that really stuck with me recently that
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what I need to do is just push
Wow.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you found yourself to be in that position throughout your life where you run in, or have you
No,
found
not
yourself being
really.
more one that like kind of runs away?
Yeah, I'm not runs away, but more cautious
Hmm.
probably.
Hmm.
And not to say that Dave, I'm running into this blindly. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously, David had experience and defending the flocks and things like that. So I'm not like, oh, I'm just
Hmm.
first time picking up a camera and I'm just going to do something I've never done before. No,
Right.
it's not just total blind faith. I know God can use me and the skills that He's given me,
Hmm.
and but yeah, I just need to run towards this and not be
Hmm.
hesitant and too cautious. I mean, caution is good in some cases, but not
Yeah.
too cautious. And
Uh,
but yeah,
wow. So you're definitely quicker to say yes when he calls you to step into something.
I think so. Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah. When I just and I don't know if this is called into something or if it's just obedience I'm looking at too.
Mm. Hmm. That's good. So you did commercial photography, and then like were
Mhm.
you trained in photography? Did you like go to school for photography? Like what did
Oh,
that look like?
years and years ago. Yeah,
Yeah?
long time ago. Yeah, I just started as I got a camera from high school graduation from my dad, and I
Oh,
ended up going to a Bible school over in Germany after high school. So
yeah.
got a new camera. I'm in a new world all around me, and it was cool and neat, and everything is exciting. And I was taking pictures, and I didn't know what I wanted to do in life, at
Hmm.
18, and I thought,
Hmm.
oh, when I get back home, I'm gonna check this out, and I ended up going to community college and VOTEC kind of schools to learn photography, and then end up getting a job as a photo assistant at a few different studios in the Twin Cities where you really learn the most.
Okay.
And then kind of just went from there. Yeah.
Wow. So your dad gave you a camera. Had
Yeah.
you like what was it like before that? Were you taking pictures before that, or was that just kind of the
Not
first?
really. I mean, maybe a little bit.
Mhm.
I mean, he had a camera. I'd borrow his sometimes, but nothing, I wasn't
Mhm.
like, wow, this is cool before then.
Yeah. Wow. I love it. So it's almost like that one gift
Hmm.
helped to bring
Oh,
about
shape my
your
life. Yeah.
gifts, right?
Hmm.
Because I would say that you're a very gifted photographer. And I
Thank
think
you.
we often don't see even you're capturing things that we see, right? And
Yeah.
we don't always see the things that that he's gifted us in, right?
Hmm.
So, so you did the commercial photography, and then you now have a nonprofit. So tell us more about the nonprofit and kind of that transition, because were you employed? And then
Um,
I think that was
well, I've
kind
been
of what stood out to me for your story was
for like the last 20 years, I've been self-employed. I've just had my own
okay.
business and just working for different clients.
Hmm.
But so I just decided, I mean, I tried it, I could just maybe do this on the side, you know, I mean, it wasn't just a sling and a stone back then, but just doing work kind of
Hmm.
forgot on the side. And we recently moved, well, 3 years ago now, we moved from the Twin Cities out to Bozeman, Montana.
Hmm.
And my wife and I just started fresh in a lot of things in life.
Hmm.
And I just thought, yeah, this is a good time maybe to start fresh with this and make a
Hmm.
change.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so just started the process. And then just like a year ago, finally got, everything registered and
Okay.
with, all the paperwork. Well, still
Hmm.
actually took like a year just this
Oh,
year.
right. Wow.
Finally, all the IRS stuff. It was,
Okay.
you wait forever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So could you share a little bit more about maybe even about that process? Because I'm sure there might be somebody who has thought about doing a nonprofit. Is there anything that you learned along the way that might help somebody who wants to
I,
step into
I,
that realm?
I talked with a lot of people first about, what's the best way to do it and how to go about the whole process. And I heard it was very hard, very difficult.
Mm.
And then somebody told me of an organization out of Nashville called the Foundation Group, and
Oh.
they do all the work for you, pretty
Mm.
much. I mean, they give you a list of, they need this information, that information, all this, and then they put everything together
Mm-hmm.
for a fee, of course, and
Mm-hmm.
they submit everything into the IRS, but they guarantee you that it's going to go through and you'll be approved. And
Okay.
it takes a while, to
Mm-hmm.
put everything, and you have to come up with all kinds of information, dollars and numbers and
Mm-hmm.
mission statements and all kinds of things to do it. But it is nice to have somebody that knows what they're doing and to
Mm-hmm.
help you, because that's
Yeah.
not my area. I don't
Yeah.
enjoy that at all. I mean, some people love that and that they can do it
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
Sure.
Being the way my brain works, it's like, no, that's something I hate. So
Yeah.
good to find
Yeah.
somebody else that
Yes. Yeah, we need
can
we
do
need
it for you.
people, right?
Yeah. It's
So
like we're all,
the foundation group you mentioned,
yep.
you'd had a good process with them, it sounds like.
Yep. Hmm.
Okay, well maybe I could add that to the show notes as if there's others who are interested in reaching out to
Yeah.
them. Is there a contact there that you would recommend or
Um, no, no
just
one
reach
person in
out?
particular. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So it took about a year. You're in the process, you're
Yeah.
waiting. And you also had said something about a 9-year timeline. Ever hear something on this show that stirs something deep, like a nudge from God that there's more? That's stirring. It's not random. I'm Kristin Kurtz, host of Hope Unlocked and the founder of New Wings Coaching, and I'm inviting you into a 45-minute unlocking session, a sacred space to press in, hear what heaven is saying, and activate your next bold step. If you're a trailblazer or kingdom voice ready to break free from doubt and live fully alive, this is for you. Book now at newwingscoaching.net/hopeunlocked for special listener pricing. You were born to live uncaged and unapologetically bold. Now back to the show.
Well, just the 9 years from when I first went on this mission trip up in the Himalayas
Mm-hmm.
until getting this process going with just
Mm-hmm.
a sling and a stone. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just, and God opening and closing doors. I thought, oh, maybe I'll do this and
Yeah.
changing some photography. And it's like, oh, this looks promising. And then all of a sudden that closes, but it's something else opens
Mm-hmm.
up. And it's like, God was just kind of guiding me to this
Mm.
spot where I am now, I think. And
Yeah. Yeah. How do you hear God like in this in your life?
oh, um, by reading the Bible, prayer, I had different passages that came up, different sermons that I would listen. I mean, different people, I mean, I'd be all over, in Montana or back in Minnesota or something, but
Hmm.
same things were coming up in sermons that I was, in church or something like that, or just
Yeah.
listening. And it's like, wow, okay, I'm hearing the same kind of theme over and over again. And
Yeah.
so something's speaking to me. And
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Isn't it incredible? Like he's so intentional. And I actually like to say that he's fun too.
oh, yeah,
Like he will bring these repeating messages, and you might even walk outside or go in your car and you'll see like a billboard or a truck
yeah.
driving by that has
Hmm.
the very like key and message that you're kind of looking for. And I heard a sermon this last week that he was saying, I don't always just sit down and like it falls on me like in my prayer time or whatever. It sometimes will be like 2 days later out in nature, or it's not always going to come like that
No,
answer you're
yeah.
looking for. Would you
It
agree?
speaks to us in lots of different ways. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think we have to be good at listening.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we're just busy, which we all can be with our lives and going on, I mean, you have to I think, just kind of the old thing, be still and listen. And
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. So just a sling and a stone. I know that you go places.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about where he's got you going.
Okay. So just the idea behind it, I guess, is I do, I work with different Christian organizations, typically outside of the US, more international,
Hmm.
and typically smaller organizations that don't have tons of funding behind them to
Okay.
get their story out because there's so many just great organizations out there that are
Yeah.
large and have tons of
Hmm.
backing and funding and they're doing great work, but there's also I've
Yeah.
discovered just tons of small little mom and pop organizations that are reaching people and doing amazing things that don't have
Hmm.
big budgets behind them. And some
Yeah.
ideas I go out and I'll do photography, video, kind of customize whatever they need to, raise awareness is what they're doing, or if they need to raise support.
Hmm.
And so I don't charge them anything. I raise the support on my end to cover
Hmm.
the costs. And then I travel, go do the work, and turn everything over to them to
Hmm.
use. Um, some of them will have me do some editing. Some just want everything just raw, and they know somebody on their end that can help them. So
Hmm.
there's no set way of doing it. It's
Yeah.
everybody has just different and flexible with however they want
Yeah.
it.
Wow. So how did you like how do you know who to like partner with? Are there people that are coming to you? Or are you finding
It's
people? How does that
yeah, it's just
It's organic.
yes, very organic, and again, it's how God works in just
Mhm.
crazy ways sometimes.
Yeah.
So, just an example. So, I'm living in Bozeman, near Montana, and
Mhm.
in addition to just juggling lots of different things and trying to make it, I drive Uber too in town here.
Okay.
So I do a little bit of Uber driving,
Mhm.
and I think it was February. I gave this woman a ride here in
Mhm.
town, just short little
Mhm.
5-10 minute ride down, and we were just chatting, and
Mhm.
she's asking what I do, and I was telling her about the ministry that I just started,
Yeah.
and she looks at me and she's like, "Oh, my husband and I have a ministry that we do
Oh.
in Uganda." But she's from Maryland, is where they live, and her husband was speaking at the university here, and so they were in town for just a couple days.
Yeah.
And so we just chatted more, and she said, "Let's connect." So the next day, I met them at their hotel, and we sat down for a few hours and
Mhm.
talked about each other and what we're doing.
Mhm.
And I just thought, yeah, they can use me. And
Wow.
so here, I just got back 4 days ago, now
Mhm.
last Saturday, from Uganda. And I was over there
Wow.
with them for 2.5 weeks. Um, and just amazing work that they're doing over
Mm.
there. It's incredible.
Wow. So you're driving
Yeah.
Uber and you meet somebody who's
Yeah.
who's
Just,
a connection point, like a stepping stone to really
yeah.
step into this fully. Wow.
And that's just kind of one of the latest example. And that's just, yeah, it's just crazy
Well, do
how
you have
things.
another example? I love testimonials.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to think of one that, I mean, so a year ago I was in Tanzania
Mhm.
in Africa, and it was just a random series of connections that brought me there.
Mhm.
It was actually connected to the person who I was over in the Himalayas in Asia, um, 10 years ago now. He connected me to somebody in the Twin Cities who
Mhm.
connected me to somebody in Atlanta. And I was going to go do a project with him. And
Yeah.
he was partnering with another group in the Atlanta area, and he ended up not being able to go. But this other group said, "We'd love you to still come and work with us." And I said,
Mhm.
"Sure."
Yeah.
And so from, Asia to Minnesota to Atlanta to Tanzania, you know,
It's like can't make this stuff up, right?
no, I know. So it's just, again, I guess just being open and,
Yeah.
God works in amazing ways. And
Yeah. I would love to ask you, and I think part of, I really love hearing testimonials and straight from people who are doing pioneering, right? You are pioneering something that is really different and new for you and maybe not for others, right?
Yeah.
But, there's an element of what you're doing that might look a little crazy to the world, right?
It
Just a
could.
little
Yeah.
bit.
I mean, to some people, I guess, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Like you're
it,
not
it
charging, right? So a lot of times people would say, well, in the business world or what
yeah.
have you. Did you have any trepidation about that? Like, have you found that, the Lord has always provided along the way? I guess that's kind of where I'm getting at.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not getting rich off of this, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting with like a big chunk of money in my bank account,
Hmm.
but just yeah, trusting in the Lord that He's going to provide and take care. And
Hmm.
sometimes it's like, wow, this one's really tight,
Hmm.
and then all of a sudden, just something comes in, and it's just incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So you've had a lot of like 11:59 experiences,
Yeah,
last minute before midnight hour.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
have any fun examples about that? Because I know that
Um,
there's a lot of people that I know personally who are pioneering, and it's been a little treacherous in these last few years.
I guess nothing specifically
Hmm.
tied to that. I mean, that really jumps out at me. Um, One of the early on things that impacted me, I guess, is on this first trip I went 10 years ago now, is had to raise support for this,
Hmm.
2 week long trip. And I'd never done one before. I'd never gone on a short-term trip in my
Hmm.
life. And I thought, oh, this would be interesting. And
Yeah.
our kids were a little bit older, and I thought, okay, my wife really wanted to go too, but she says, I'll stay with home with the kids. Our girls were still in school and stuff like that, and you go on this. But she says, the next one you go on, we'll go on together. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then, um, but as I was raising support, a gentleman in our church came up to me and understood what I was doing. Yeah,
Hmm. Mm.
excuse me.
Yeah.
And hands me a check and just says, it was, it was I mean, it didn't like cover the whole thing, but it was a good,
Hmm.
amount of money. And he said, this never let finances get in the way of the Lord's work.
Oh. Mm.
I guess 10 years later, it still impacts me.
Mm. Tell us, what did he say again? I want somebody to hear that, and it's ministering to me too.
Never let finances get in the way of the Lord's work.
Mm. Ooh. Wow.
So, yeah, I guess that's my best example.
Mm. That goes right to the heart. Like, how many people do you think are stopped by just that very thing?
Um, I really don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to answer that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I talked to many who really are challenged maybe to step out into something or out of something because they are maybe in a secure financial position, maybe at a job, or the Lord might be calling them to do something, but they don't see how it's even possible.
And I think that is one of the ways, I talk about, God opening and closing doors. And the position I was in recently is, yeah, I'm not in like a secure financial, and it probably would have been harder for me
Mhm.
if I was, if I had this,
Mhm.
working for, solid corporation and
Mm-hmm.
had, all this going, and it's like, so, it was a way of Lord putting in position that it was easier to
Mm,
make this decision.
yeah. Yeah. And how has it been like with your family? I know for those who are listening that, maybe have family that, um, they can either be for you or sometimes against you, unfortunately. How's it been?
I think it's been very supportive. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Everybody is like, wow,
Yeah.
really. Um, I don't think I've gotten any negative feedback from anybody on what I'm doing.
That's amazing.
A lot
Yeah.
of support. Yeah. I mean, just
You-
encouragement and
yeah. So did your wife and you end up going on a trip together then?
so yeah, we both co-led the trip, same trip 3 years later in 2018. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, how was
Yeah.
that?
So
That was amazing.
yep.
Oh. Well, I love like what you're doing. You shared some pictures with me today, and you said something at the Few gathering about, the faces that you're capturing, and I can't remember exactly what you said. Do you remember what you said? And I think it's
Oh,
probably like a big part of your mission. Like people, maybe they haven't seen themselves before. Do you
I'm
remember?
trying to, I don't remember what I said
Like
now.
being able to capture like the emotions and the essence of the people that
It,
you're going to see.
and it's, man, I mean, I'm hoping I'm capturing that when I'm
Mhm.
there because
Yeah.
these last trip really hit me hard in
Mm.
some ways.
Yeah.
Um, and I just let people know so this is my third, so I did back to back to back trips
Mhm. Mhm.
in like a short time span,
Okay.
less than 2 months. And one of the things when I started this, I didn't realize, and it just kind of hit me as like, man, it's a lot for me to process just
Mhm.
personally.
Sure.
And what I'm seeing and what's going on is
Mhm.
I'm seeing and experiencing things that probably most people don't
Mm.
see experience in their lifetime.
Oh, wow.
And just from orphanages, in the Philippines to,
Mhm.
you know, the sex trade in Asia and what's
Mm.
going on there
Mhm.
to starvation in Uganda. Uh,
Mm.
at one point, I was we did so this was in Uganda a
Mhm.
week or so ago, and we were doing we wanted to show what the ministry is doing that I was working with.
Okay.
And so one of the things they help with is they do food relief. They're helping because this area has had some severe drought the past
Mhm.
few years, and and they're also doing related to that is medical assessments and different things on nutrition on people. And so we decided to not stage something, but
Mhm.
do it out of timing what they normally do. We went in and we were doing a medical assessment on a village of these people that maybe they wouldn't have gone to do that part of it maybe for another month or so.
Okay.
And but because we were there, they said let's do this now, and so we could take photos of it and video just to show what they're doing, so they can
Yeah.
show it to their supporters.
Mhm.
And I remember I was doing video and just trying to capture everything, and
Mhm.
it just seemed like it was just crowded. I mean, so they had a couple doctors there,
Yeah.
and it was you're moving around looking through my camera,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to move around and not step on kids that are
Oh.
around us,
Yeah.
and kids are crying because
Oh.
there's there just the situation we're in, there's a lot of crying going on,
Mhm.
and they're testing kids, they're measuring like their arms, they're weighing them, they're doing all this stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if you've seen the movie, I mean not the movie, but the series The Chosen, and there's this
Yes.
scene in there where the woman's trying, where she touches Jesus' garment and she's
Yeah.
fighting through the crowd.
Mhm.
And that just flashed back to me like
Wow.
I'm trying to do this video and these people are just pushing in on me all around. And then it just kind of dawned on me. I mean, I'm just doing a simple little video, I think.
Mhm.
And these people are like, it's life and death. I mean, they're
Mhm.
pushing their children, their grandchildren forward towards the doctors to make sure they're seen.
Oh, wow.
And it just, wow,
Oh. Mm.
it just really hit me.
Yeah.
And we found one young girl there because they were giving out, the ones that were the worst malnourished, they were handing out the special food packets that they get from approved from like WHO and stuff like that. He's
Mhm.
supposed to help them, I mean, within minutes just to help
Oh, no.
their body. And so then they give them other stuff for future things too. And this one girl was not interested in eating it at all.
Mm.
And they said, that's really a bad sign when you lose your
Yeah.
appetite. And so they got her into the hospital the next day, and they said she probably had like a week left to live.
My gosh.
And so
Mm.
it's just, yeah, it's hard.
How far are they having to like walk to get to this?
Um, Surprisingly, not as far as you think.
Okay.
It was interesting. I was expecting, because I'd been to some remote areas before where you hike days into remote areas. And this is, we were staying in this small town in
Mhm.
northeast Uganda, and these villages that this organization they work with 5 different villages in the area.
Mhm.
It's called the people called Kermajung people, and they live very primitively, but
Mhm.
they can probably, I mean, this town is by no means fancy. I mean, it's,
Sure.
but we stayed at a hotel, which is very basic,
Okay.
and it's, maybe like 7 miles away from where they are.
Okay.
And there's roads and different things. I mean, they walk all over the place, and they walk into town. They go to the market sometimes on certain days if they're trying to sell stuff. So they're
Mm.
they're not that far, but they're sitting there with no electricity,
Wow.
no, simple, thatch huts they're living in,
Mhm.
cook over an open fire. Um, but they can, some cases you can see power lines from
Mhm.
their village. It's just an odd thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really strange.
How do you like you said you had challenges like processing all of this, right? Like how do you come back here? Like is it challenging to come back and reacclimate?
It, in some ways, yeah. I mean, you look at all the abundance around you,
Mhm.
and it seems just crazy.
Mhm.
But then again, it's there too, because my trip to Uganda got delayed in returning home because of the conflict in the Middle East, and I ended up
Mhm.
staying a few days in Nairobi, Kenya, which was kind of fun because I
Mm.
um, did some work there a year ago, and so I visited this school that I did work for a year ago and met some of the same people again, which was fun to reconnect. And they, it's in the slums in Nairobi, and it's horrible living conditions that you're in.
Mhm.
And, these kids hardly get any food at
Mm.
all, like to eat. But, you know, this time, when I was there a year ago, I spent the whole week in the slums. I didn't really get out anyplace
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
And this time I was meeting some other people too. So I was in different parts of Nairobi, and it's like I'm walking, there's like grocery stores here, which
Really?
it's a modern, city.
Huh.
But there's parts of the city that you would have no idea that there's food nearby at all, And then you,
Wow.
you go to another part of the city half hour away, and it's a modern city, and it's just crazy to think that such a contrast in such a short
Mhm.
distance.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Way more than you see here in the US. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I've never seen areas in the US as poor as that. And
Oh, that must be so hard to take in. Like I don't know. I
it
got married in
is.
the Dominican Republic and I remember going on different like little excursions and we would be brought into different villages and I that was kind of like my first experience, when I was in my young, 20s to see like what you hear about, but when you actually see just the poverty, but yet their smiles.
Yes, and that's the
So I
other
wanted
thing.
you to talk about that because
Yes.
the picture that you sent me today where there's four children
Oh, and
and
they're laughing
one
and
of them is carrying, it looks like a water jug on her head, and it's just the
oh,
most
yeah.
precious. Like what you captured here is just incredible. Like just their faces. Can you like what do you sense as you're capturing these photos? Like
So
God's heart over them.
yeah, and just I this group I've been working with, they've been in this area for I think just 2 years now.
Okay.
But in that time they've made a big impact. And so they show up. I mean, and they are there. They've got people working on the ground there that are there weekly
Mhm.
into the different villages. But this was more of the um, people that started the ministry and stuff like that, and they get there a couple times a year.
Okay.
And so there was a team of people too. There was like seven of us, and
Mhm.
we go into these villages, and they were singing and dancing and
Mhm.
just full of joy.
Yeah.
And their attitude is like there's nothing wrong with it. They're just
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're also desperate for food. I saw that too.
Okay.
But one of the comments, they sat down and met. We went to all the different villages. They work with five different ones, and
Mm.
they'd sit down and meet with the elders, men, and then they also have separate meetings with the women and stuff like that because they all have different perspectives on different needs in the village. And um, one of the men said something about you have brought the light of Jesus into our
Wow.
lives here.
Mm.
And that's what's giving them hope. These people
Mm.
is
Mhm.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. And had they like encountered Jesus before that?
Um,
Do you know?
Not in this way, I don't think. No.
Mhm. Mhm.
No.
What do you feel like what are they experiencing? Because we can bring different, just our presence is bringing Jesus, but is there
Mhm.
something that they're experiencing beyond maybe somebody else who's come in and tried to help out
I
before?
think the consistency that this organization is called
Mm.
TCI, Transformed
Mhm.
Communities International, but
Okay.
just their consistency because other groups have gone in and
Mhm.
they're there for once or twice and then they're gone.
Oh,
And it's like never to be seen from again. And just
okay.
so I think, and listening to the people too, they're not just trying to, here we are from the West,
Mhm.
US, and
Mhm.
we've got all the answers to everything and we're going to fix all your problems.
Mm.
Where they go in and actually they'll listen to them and,
Mm.
how can we best, help you and what can we do, versus trying to force on them what we think is best.
Wow, that's a huge key right there, right?
Mhm.
Just for anybody else who might be listening in ministry that isn't operating that way.
Yeah.
And just in general, I think if we could just listen to people more,
Hmm.
would you say?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's 'cause these people they're not dumb people. I mean, they're
Right.
super smart and they know how things work and they're part of the world and how best to get things done. They might
Mhm.
not always have the resources or anything, but just to listen to them and they've got
Mm.
great ideas on how to handle different situations and uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Well, how about another like trip that you've been on? Is there anything else that you wanted to share with people listening today?
Oh man,
I'm sure you have
I've
so
only been
many.
doing this a year. I
Yeah.
haven't gone on that many trips, but they have all been so impactful.
Mm.
Um, so just okay, a year ago I was in Tanzania and we
Mhm.
were working with a group ministry called Ubora, and they minister to a lot of widows and um, orphans in the area. A lot of the widows, their husbands have died of
Oh.
AIDS over the years and things like that. And they were
Mhm.
doing great work. It's a bigger organization. They were,
Okay.
I mean, small enough where they don't have huge funds, but still
Mhm.
they have been there for a while and are established, and it was great seeing all the people they put on different, again, health clinics, and it's a bigger team, and they had 1,500 people, coming to these events that they were putting
Oh,
on.
wow.
But at the end of my trip, we did a little. The woman that was kind of organizing it made an extra day, and she says, "Would you be interested in going visiting another place that she
Mhm.
had heard of like the year before?" And I'm like, "Sure." So she connected with this woman, and it was an orphanage. It was like the next town over,
Okay.
and it was an orphanage for disabled kids and run by a Catholic nun. I mean, it was just, I
Wow.
don't think they get much funding either.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I'm not Catholic or anything, but we were going, it didn't matter. And we were going out and seeing things.
Yeah.
And, and I'd heard some of this when we got there. You saw these disabled kids, which is sad.
Hmm.
I mean, they have all kinds of different disabilities, physical,
Hmm.
but then there's also a huge group of albino children there.
Interesting.
And I learned that Tanzania has like the highest per capita, whatever, population of albino people.
Wow.
But they are also, and it's, so you imagine these, young kids, African kids running around, they've got just white hair,
Hmm.
super fair skin.
Yeah.
They are, their bodies are full of sores because of the sun. They're living practically on the equator.
Oh, my gosh.
And yeah, and then they're orphans on top of that.
Oh.
And then also,
So are they
and
like marginalized because of being albino?
well, I have marginalized in the right
Or
word,
is that the
but
right, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but to put a different I did some research afterwards.
Yeah.
They are hunted still
Oh.
for their body parts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering if there was like some type of, you know where I'm going with
Which
that.
witchcraft kind of
Oh,
thing still goes on
oh my
in
goodness.
areas, and still there's even from what I was reading at when I got home, there's wealthy people that in the country that are still trying to get a leg up on the competition
Yeah.
in life that will hire these people to come up with these potions or whatever.
My goodness.
And so this is still happening in the world. And
Wow.
and to see these kids and know that, I mean, just not too far away from where I was, like a week before we got there, an albino person was killed. And this woman
Mhm.
knew of another lady in this village, her arm was cut off with a machete, and they take, you
Oh
know,
my gosh.
it's crazy what goes on in the world that we don't hear that much about.
Right. Oh, can't even
So like I said,
imagine.
I've been doing this a year, and just everything, like I said, I hear and see things that I never
Yeah.
imagined I would.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I have so many questions. Um,
But and I just want to and it's not just me. I've got
mhm.
people, our board of directors is super supportive
Mhm.
and helping. I've got a super supportive wife and family, and it's all
Yeah.
those people behind me that are helping
Yeah.
me so I can help others. My ministry is not directly helping people, but
Mhm.
helping the people that are there on the ground working with those
Yeah.
people. I'm just kind of, and just,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just one part of the body and doing what I can
Mhm.
do to help. And I can't do without other people's help either. I mean, I need
Mhm.
support, prayer, and financial, all the
Yeah.
different ways that the people can support me too. And that
Yes.
helps a lot.
Wow. Well, I would say that you're helping many people. And are you are you doing partnerships with ministries here in the US as well? Are you doing anywhere in the US or around the world? Like, do you have kind of a
I mean, the ministries might be based in the US, but they're doing their work outside of the US.
okay.
And that's kind of what I thought a niche would be, just because of, I mean, yeah, just the Twin Cities, for example, there's
Mhm.
tons of people that can do what I'm doing there, and it's great because there's tons of need in
Mhm.
every place in the US too. I mean,
Mhm.
don't pretend that there's not all this crazy
Mhm.
need going on in every city in the US.
Yeah.
as there is. But there's people here that can do that. And just
Hmm.
my point in life and different position that God has put me in, I have the
Hmm.
ability and flexibility to travel. And God isn't, some people, I go to places and people
Hmm.
are like, aren't you afraid to do this and to do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. And maybe that's the way just God has wired me,
Wow.
is I don't really have a problem with that. And so,
Wow.
yeah,
You
that's,
literally like you don't have any fears that come up when you're going into new places.
no, I really
That's
don't.
amazing.
I'm trusting in God that He's going to take care of me. And if it's my time to go, then it is, I guess. I can get hit by a car here in town and
Exactly.
die today, or it could be the
Hmm.
other side of the world, and
Yeah. What would you say to somebody who maybe is carrying a lot of fear about stepping out into something unknown?
just trust God. Just,
Mm.
yeah, don't, um, yeah,
That's
that's,
good.
it's simple, I guess.
It's simple. It's simple. I like to call it simple wisdom. Like you don't have to have too many words, right? It's literally
Yeah.
trust God. I had a moment a couple days ago where I was driving on, I call it the freeway, the freeway. And I was behind a van and it had trust all over it. Just trust, trust, trust. Because I'm in a season of some transitions, and that's what literally right in front of me is like trust, trust,
Mhm.
trust. Because we do ultimately, like that is, like what you said, trust God.
And I think we live in a society where we want to be in control of everything.
Mm.
It's kind of the American way, is we're very independent, which is, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either, but also it's, we think if we have to do everything on our own, and
Mm.
that, and I think that if we're throwing out trust out there, it's like, well, that's, I can't, if I can't do it myself, or I can't be in control of the situation, I'm not going to do it, Does that make sense what I'm saying? Or,
Yeah, I
okay.
do. I think, like you said something earlier, and it's just like we need people. We need other people. I have a couple intercessors. I call them my Aaron and her that are like literally holding my arms up sometimes. Especially when you're doing work. Obviously, you do different work than I do, but there is generational implications to what you're doing on a massive scale.
Thanks.
Do you see it?
I see it more and more, I guess. What I'm doing is just part of the piece too. I mean, you can have photos, but you need
Mhm.
somebody to write a story that goes along with the photos, or something to explain what's happening.
Mhm.
And that I have no skill at, but I know there's people out there that do, and so we all
Yeah,
work together.
isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Oh, so these ministries have like writers and then they work with you and they have kind of a
Or
team.
sometimes they'll reach out to somebody else.
Mhm.
Somebody else will come along to their writer, and
Mhm.
it's like the thing I did in Uganda.
Yeah.
Not too long before that, they ran into somebody that connected, and he is like produces stuff, and
Oh,
so he's going to take all like the raw footage and put it all together
oh my
and
gosh.
do things with it that I can't do. Probably, I mean, I could do a little bit, but this
Sure.
person cannot do way more than I can. So it's just like, have
Yeah.
at it. Use what
Yeah.
I took, and
So good. Oh. Well, what's next on the horizon? Like, what are you sensing for this coming year over what you're doing?
um, like I said, I just did a bunch of these really quick, which is my wife's like, I'm glad you're home for a little while now, too.
Yeah.
And so I've got some things I'm working on, nothing set in stone yet for another trip coming up, but just fundraising, I guess, is something that's important. It's hard to,
Yeah.
yeah. And again, I'm not good at that as far as
Mm,
asking. I don't know if
sure.
any of us are, but it's humbling.
Yeah.
But just, but I know it's important and I need to do it.
Yeah.
And so I need to focus on that. for a
Hmm.
while now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure before the year's end, I'll find myself either in Nepal or Mongolia or back in
Mm.
Africa, who knows where. Yeah.
What an adventure, truly.
It,
Can
it is
I ask
crazy
you
adventure.
maybe like I know you said, you're not the best at fundraising, but like what does that look like? Not only that, but like how can people like partner with you as they're listening? They might want to help you out.
Yeah, I mean, right as of now, the best way is probably to go to our website called
Mhm.
just slingandastone.org.
Okay.
And from there, you can connect to different ways that, like I said, it doesn't have to be financial. It can be prayer. It can be um, advocacy, help, suggesting another ministry that
Yeah.
somebody else knows that they can share with me, and we can connect and do something for them maybe. And there's lots of, different ways. But
Yeah.
right now, yeah, through the website is the best way to get connected. I'm just starting putting together like I hate this word, but newsletter kind of
Oh,
thing that just, yeah, so to inform people what's going on and stuff like that. So,
yes. It's a press release.
yeah, something.
That's amazing. Well, what has been your most favorite moment since starting?
Oh my gosh. And and the word favorite is kind of weird too because is it like a fun moment or is it impactful or is
Yeah,
it
it could be
I
whatever
know, and I'm
comes
trying to
first.
think and I don't know if I have one.
I
It's
use that word a lot, like favorite. I don't know why.
yeah,
It
no,
could be
but
a fun moment, impactful,
and
miracle moment.
it seems like it's the most recent thing I've done always sticks in my head, you
Yeah.
know. And like I said, it's just a week ago and the people
Yeah.
just closing in around me, that's it's
Mhm.
still just sticking with me very hard right now.
Yeah.
Um, but not to say there's other things too, but it's just like, yeah, it seems like the most recent
Mhm.
things because every time I've gone on one of these I hate the word trip too. I always, when I say the word trip, it sounds like you're on vacation someplace.
Sure.
And it's definitely not. I mean, I come back, I'm exhausted.
Mm.
You're changing time zones, eating crazy food, you're
Mhm.
sleeping wherever, you're spending nights in airports overnight. So yeah, trip is not a good word, but it's
I
people get
like
the
how you
idea.
like words. I'm kind of a big word person. Like words are really impactful. So
Yeah.
I love how you're kind of flipping the script. I
Yeah.
call it flip the script.
So yeah, and it's just there's been something on every time I've gone somewhere that's
Hmm.
made a huge impact on me. So
Yeah.
there's no favorite, I guess.
Okay. Well, how about a favorite photo that you've taken?
Oh, that's even harder. Because
Most impactful photo? It may be from your most recent trip.
you know how many photos I took?
Narrow it down to one.
I was, I take, depending on the day, 1,000 to 2,000 photos a day.
Wow.
Um, and a lot of them aren't good, but
Well, you sent me four, so
yeah,
you're able to narrow it down.
I sent you four. I know. Just to kind of give you a little taste of what it was like. I mean, and for me, it's so interesting because each photo brings
Mm.
back a memory for me
Yeah.
because I was, the one taking it. So I was there and I know, um, did I send you one of like a little girl sitting on the ground? I can't
Let
remember
me
which
see.
ones I sent you now even.
No, not that
No.
one.
Okay. But I mean, so
Oh
to
wait,
me,
there's one with a bunch of kids and one
yeah, it's
smiling, like big, big smile.
yeah, I know. I mean, they were putting on um a drama for this group of people that were there because they have a language, but 95% of them are probably illiterate, and
Mm.
so you can't like hand them a Bible, even if it's in their own language, they don't know how to read, and
Yeah.
so they were acting out Bible stories, and they were laughing and having fun because they were doing different things with the kids and all that. So I look back at my photos and I know what is going on in the photo behind the camera.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it just brings joy to me. It's fun memories of
Wow.
not always fun, I guess. I mean, some of the kids were there,
Mhm.
they're starving and they're just giving them emergency food rations and things like that. But it triggers memories, I guess, each photo in me because I was there and I know. And
Yeah.
I realize a photo or even video can't share the whole story of what is going on in a
Hmm.
situation.
Yeah.
You can't smell what it smells like there.
Hmm.
You're not hearing everything. You're not seeing all the stuff that's going on behind the camera and
Right.
the people brushing up against you and as you're trying not to step on people or kids. And
Hmm.
it just gives a little taste of what
Hmm.
is going on.
Yeah.
Hopefully that little taste can, you know, make an impact on somebody's heart. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. Well, I want to wrap up. One more question. What is your like key anchoring verse over your ministry? Do you have that?
Uh, a key anchoring verse.
Yeah. Keeps you going.
I don't know if I have one in particular. I
Okay.
don't, yeah.
You don't have to.
All
You
right.
could get one later.
I
Get
know.
one later.
I might.
Can
Yeah.
you tell I'm a coach? I'm like, okay, well, go sit with God
Yeah.
and get one then.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like photos because different verses mean different things at different
yeah,
times.
yeah.
And so I don't have one
Yeah,
favorite. I don't
and you
have
don't
one
have
favorite.
to. You know
Yeah.
what? I think you don't have to. Tim
Hmm.
does not have to have just one.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna like prophesy over that over you because I've been told like you're multi-passionate. Like you don't have to just narrow down
And
to
I know some people do, I guess,
one.
but I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's all right.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Yes, amen. Um, well, as I wrap up, I love to I do this for the one. And if you could
Mhm.
just get in mind one person who's listening in right now, is there anything that you would like to share, any words of encouragement or wisdom that you would be led to speak over them? Um, and then would you pray us out as we wrap up today?
I guess, if you feel, sense the Lord leading you in a certain direction, don't fight it,
Yeah.
embrace it, and just
Mm,
go for it.
mm, so good. So good.
Yeah.
I'll do that. I feel it. Would you pray us out today?
Yes, I'd like to.
Okay.
My wife just walked in the door. So,
No problem.
yeah. Dear Lord Jesus, I thank you for this time we could share together and share the story of how you're working in my life and just that I can share how you're working in other lives around the world and what you are accomplishing is just amazing, Lord. And just thank you that I can be a small part of that and just do my little part to help the people around the world. We pray
Mm,
this in your name. Amen.
amen. Well, thank you, Tim. This has been incredible. Again, could you just share your website and then I'll also put it into the show notes too?
It's just a slingandastone.org.
Okay, sounds good. And if you guys know of anybody that is looking for what Tim is bringing to this world, please feel free to reach out to him. And then I am going to close with the Hope Unlocked anchoring verse, which is, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope. And that's Romans 15:13. So thank you, Tim, for being a brave voice. I always like to say who's setting others free. And I appreciate you being on today. I will be
Mhm.
back with another episode next week. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.